Load the upload. Alrighty. So there we go. I was like, why is it not updating? All right. So we're here. I guess we're in the new year at this point. So we're going to be watching the season 2, episode 3, Metal Hurlant Chronicles episode called Loyal Condor. If you're new to the party, over here on the side, right there, should say right there, load the episode in another window and watch along with me as I react live to another episode of Metal Hurlant Chronicles. The way this works is I can't embed video or audio, so you're going to have to load another window and watch along with me as I watch this for the first time. I like to think it's fun watching with other people, so maybe you do too. I will give you a countdown from 3, 2, 1, 0, go. And we should be in sync as I watch this, barring any weird circumstances. And I don't skip intros. I do skip ads. And half the time when I give a countdown, the thing doesn't work for me. So we'll give it a go. See if I can get it to work right. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, 0, go. WeProd. That seems to be like an unfortunate name for production. John Rice Davies. Oh, that's Gimli and the professor from Sliders. Right? Yes. Metal Hurlant. That first chunk is actually pretty good. Not sure I'm there for like the screaming head of a dying planet. I don't know how that works, but yeah, I don't know. Like, this feels like it should be a YouTube series. Just like production quality feels that way. Although I'd be curious if I went back and watched Babylon 5, whether or not the I remember that series being really good. I also remember some of the digital effects weren't all that good for then either, and I imagine they'd be much more painful now. But The acting is pretty rough. Oh, please. Of course it is. Are you kidding me? Such cheese. Ah. Oh my God. Are you goddamn kidding me? Just kill them all now. This is painful. No. What? Oh, golly. That is some grade A prime cheese. It's our two guys. Yes, because he just happens to hold the database in his backpack. That voice is hard to follow. Literally, they have a guy in a t-shirt and jeans. I wonder if it would be possible to take these episodes and strip them down just for the visuals, rewrite and redub. Why would you hold her hostage? He doesn't know her. It's poor writing to make somebody take a hostage that's not of value to the hero just to show them to be villainous. You were stabbed in the gut. Even if you're a tough guy, you're not going to just, you're going to be. The music is a little too much in this spot. You're in space. So about a third of the way into this. Who are you talking to? You're not broadcasting anything. You're just talking to an empty ship to narrate your own journey. I am curious to see what would happen if we redubbed all of this. You'd probably have to edit some of the video too. Some of the sequencing. Trim some extra scenes. Like all that scene of like the dying princess bit, you just introduce that, and while he's on this journey, show the rest of it. If you make the cure for her dying that he impregnates her, I'm gonna be pissed. So he's the last of his species. Of course he is, because why wouldn't he be? Why would you explain that? Duh, you just said you have to have all of it, which is a stupid measurement to go by anyway, but it's idiotic. It's the least efficient. It's all over the floor. You're wasting it. That's literally the episode. That's the stupidest thing ever. Okay, look, seriously. All you had to do would have been to make this a story of how vampires came into being. Oh, they can clone him. Make new generation of one hero, the last of his kind, send out to protect the people, come back and discover that he needs to sacrifice himself to save the... It's not that hard. There were ways to salvage that story, and you bungled them all. You bungled every ounce of that story. And there's a whole lot of filler in there. None of it needed to be in there. There were, like, it would have been a better story if in the journey he uncovered that he is not the last. Well, he is not the last of his kind because they keep freaking cloning him. And she is not the only princess. And the only reason... Okay, here's how I would take this. She is the monarch of a population of vampire people, but you're never introduced to that. All you do is you get the sense that when a monarch dies, the connection to the grandmother, the mother of them all, being severed causes madness, sickening, and dying among the people. Sort of like if you kill the vampire that made another vampire, then there is a weakening of the one who was made, or even reverting to human in some myths. So do that, and the blood that they need, because they can't drink the blood of each other to sustain themselves. The blood they need would be a population of this hero character. You don't have to make them an alien. And so they have sort of begun cloning those people in an effort to convince each one to be a hero thrall to a given monarch. And that thrall would go and seek to save their monarch at all costs. But in this case, write the story of the thrall finding out that they are not the first one to sacrifice themselves to save their queen, and that the immortality would be to convert them into one of the vampires like the monarch, but they would be distinctly different in the sense that they would not necessarily need basically it would be born vampires versus created vampires. He would be a created one. And so the gift of immortality in that regard would be converting him into a made vampire. Yeah, there's definitely a way to salvage that. The dialogue, and I feel like if you strip the audio from it, would we be able to get a better performance out of the individual characters? Maybe. If we trim out scenes like, why did he give something to the little guy on the space station? It wasn't necessary. The guy who bumped into them and he pulled a gun on the guy, that wasn't a necessary scene. It added nothing to it. The taking of the hostage, like, there are things to be edited out of this. The fight scene didn't need the, like, you stabbed the guy. He should be weakened. If the alchemist isn't afraid of dying, why would he have those stupid satellites to protect him when nobody knows he's there? Like, plot holes that can be trimmed. And then rewrite all of the dialogue and redub it or subtitle it or whatever you want to do. There are ways we could pull this together. I think with the editing, subtitling, and removing the dialogue, I think you could. It'd be interesting to try to do redubs of that. Anyway, I will catch you for the next episode in a minute here. All right.